don't stop.
My name is Riccardo Zacconi. I'm the founder and CEO of King.com. We started the company back in 2003, and we've seen some major changes and shifts over the years in the game space, in particular in the casual and social and mobile game space. What were these shifts? Until 2009, 8 and 9, we saw that players were playing mainly on portals like Yahoo and MSN in their games channels, and in 2009 we saw that there were some shifts happening. And if you check the numbers, the stats, you see that that's the year where Facebook started changing the degree at which they were growing. And if you look at it on a graph, it looks like a 45-degree growth. Now Facebook has 850 million players. Interesting is that also the typology of games the players are playing on Facebook is changing. So if you compare the top 10 ranking, top 10 games played on Facebook in January 2010, 9 out of 10 games are resource management games, the so-called Ville games, Farmville, Cityville, etc., etc. The other one is poker. January 2011, a year later, we have 8 out of 10 are resource management game, 1 is poker and 1 is a casual game. Number 5, the casual game, is Bejeweled Blades, PopCat. In a year later, basically last month, January 2012, 5 out of 10 are casual games. So the number 2 is a casual game, which is is one of the Zynga games, and then we have, our game is the largest non-Zynga game, which is Bubble Witch Saga, which has now 4.5 million daily players. So what happened? So if you look at what happened in 2010, you saw that, or 2009, 2010, you saw that who was playing those Ville games. Those were mainly female over 25, i.e. the audience which before the launch of or the growth of Facebook was playing mainly casual games. So then, after a while, they started playing Ville games, and they became more, let's say there were more of the same games. Ville 1, Ville 2, Ville 3, Ville 4 all look more or less the same, same way of playing. We are in the media business. This means you need to have change, you need to have new fresh content. And it's no surprise that the audience, which is an inherently casual audience, now starts to look again for the same genre of games which they used to play before, but proposed in a different way. So the reason why we managed to grow from 0 to number 4 on Facebook in the space of 9 months was that we reproposed the games which were successful on King.com before, putting around the same game, the 3-minute casual game, a social layer or a social envelope, where you could play the game in a very fun way with your friends, so that you could play this 1-minute game, but with 140 levels with your friends. And so this is one trend. Another trend is what is happening on mobiles. So for the first time last year, there were 500 million smartphones sold worldwide, which means there were more smartphones than babies sold. But more importantly is there were more smartphones for the first time ever than feature phones sold worldwide. And interestingly, about 70% of the total usage of app usage is actually games, and 70% of the revenues made with games are made with freemium games. So games where you don't pay anything to play, but where you have opportunities to buy additional items and additional power-ups once you started playing the free game. And the audience playing the freemium games, 85% is over 25 years old, and the audience is equally distributed between male and female. And I believe that going forward there's a trend there that there will be more female playing these games going forward when the audience has become broader, because that's the majority of older players are actually female. Other interesting trends are tablets, as we know, where whoever has a baby at home and a wife knows that they will lose the property of their tablet, because the baby will immediately be taking over, and tablets is the way how people will surf at home. And there's a study where in homes or among all the users of tablets, the usage of PC has gone down by 22%. And I believe this will go even further, i.e. all the users who are surfing at home, I believe will use either a TV or a tablet for doing that. And I think that it's a great year for the industry, for the casual social industry, because I believe that the casual genre of games which can be played on basically in 1 to 3 minutes, occasionally for the occasional moment, and on any screen, is ideally suited to be played on the web, on Facebook and other social networks, Google+, and on any device. So this is exactly what we are basically doing. We are developing games for the web, for Facebook, for Google+, for Android and for iOS. And so it's going to be a nice year.
Don't stop.